everyone. Let's start this over. My name is Sharita Morgan. I am the Behavior and Learning Strategist coming at you from the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute, where you can find solutions for your child's behavior and learning challenges. I'm also a math and literacy tutoring coach and also a parent coach. I had to reset. My phone shut off, but we're back, okay? We're back. So let's start from the beginning just in case people didn't catch the first video, okay? Come on in and get comfortable because we're going to be talking about why your child needs to be writing every day. Why your child needs to be writing every day. Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit until y'all start to come in. Let me know where you're from. If you're from New Jersey, like me, represent. Okay, let me know what state you're from. Okay, how your day is going. If your child is struggling with writing, reading, spelling, sitting down, focus, working independently, thinking. If your child is in school and when it's time for them to start their assignments, they don't move forward unless they ask a bunch of questions first, and the teacher has to say the directions over and over again. That kind of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Then this is the place for you. Come on in. Come on in. Let's take a minute, moms, to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you are taking a minute to take care of yourself. I know how we be running around, running from one task to the next, and who needs what, and then we forget. We feel like, oh, I didn't even eat breakfast. Okay? We're gonna talk. We're gonna start in a minute. So if you start in this video, this is a live video. So if you're just starting and you want to get right to the nitty gritty, just fast forward a little bit because it's about to go. Oh, there we go. Look, I look like I fell. So I'm having serious technical issues today. All right, because it's about to go down, and all the way down. All right. Let's get started, y'all. Let's get into it. Okay. All right. This is why your child should be writing every day. Seriously, everything that I just talked about, trouble with reading, writing, spelling, focusing, sitting, doing their work independently, all of those things, confidence, writing, daily writing will help you with. I'm telling you, if you do it right. So I'm gonna hook y'all up. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna let you know the structure, and I'm gonna also give you an activity that's so simple and easy that you can implement it today. And it's gonna, and you put this structure in place, and it's gonna help your child start to improve. Okay. All right. Here's the number one rule, though. This is free writing that's going to develop over time. This is not writing where you have to sit next to them and make sure they spell everything correctly, make sure they write everything correctly. This is not that. Okay. As a matter of fact, what I tell my students is, don't worry about the spelling. Just write how you think it's spelled. Write the word how you think it's spelled, and then later on, when we edit together, then we'll fix the spelling. You know what I mean? So don't help them. Now I'm a big, oh my gosh, I always say that. I promote that all the time. Stop helping your kids. Don't help them when they're supposed to be doing this work. Don't help them. Let them sit by themselves. Pen, pencil, and a notebook. Get a notebook. If you don't have a notebook today, just any pages, rip them out. If they don't have a special notebook for that's free, because we have a notebook for school and different needs. So let them sit down with a sheet of paper and a pencil. This is the structure. I'm gonna tell you the activity. They have to sit down and they have to sit properly. Have them get their own materials. Have them get the paper on their own and the pencil on their own. Spend time putting that structure in place. Because what you don't want is every day you have to tell your child, you have to get the pencil and you have to get the notebook and you have to wrangle your child to the table, make them sit down and put everything in place. That's too much work. Moms, you're working too hard. These kids have legs. They can walk. They can pick up their own materials. If they wanted to use the iPad, they pick it up. If they wanted to use the iPad, they'll pick it up. If they wanted to use their cell phone, they'll pick it up themselves and do whatever they need to do. No, you sit down, cross your legs, right? And sip your tea, do whatever you need to do, and say, all right, it's writing time. First thing you need to do is go get a sheet of paper and a pencil. You have 2 minutes. Let them do it, okay? Because you want to get them into the flow of being productive and being hands-on from the start. Not you getting it for them and setting them up and taking care of everything for them. And now you're like, okay, right. Now I'm giving you everything you need. Now write. They're not ready yet. Get them in the flow. Okay? And plus, there'll be less protests. I'm just thinking about when I dropped the phone, y'all. There'll be less protests. There'll be less asking you to help and questions and all that. Rule number 2. They must, like I said, sit properly, back against the chair, feet on the floor. Their eyes need to be on their paper and their pencil in their hand. Rule number 3, set a timer. Tell them to write for 8 minutes, especially for beginning writers. What that means by beginning writers is they're new to this system, okay? So set a timer for 8 minutes and tell them write and tell them what to write. How many sentences you want, okay? And I always start, if they're little and they're just learning how to write, I always start with 4 sentences. If they are older or if they more developed in their writing skills, have more experience with sitting down and having to write, 5 to 6 sentences. And what I do with my students in my tutoring coaching program, they start off, depending on their level. But if they're a beginner and I'm building their foundation, it's 4 sentences. When they get to a certain point where they have improved their writing, they improve their reading, they improve their spelling, they get promoted to the advanced elementary group, and now it's 5 sentences, okay? Or 6 sentences for my super advanced elementary group, okay? So that's how you do it. You give them a certain amount of sentences based on their level with a goal of getting to another level and letting them know another level there will be higher requirements. So 4 sentences or 5 or 6, whatever you think is, but wherever you think your child is right now, and then write those amount of sentences. I'm gonna set a timer for 8 minutes, and then at the end of the 8 minutes, then you can read your writing to me. But here's the thing: you need 4. Let's say 4 sentences, and write your 4 sentences. And then if you are done before the timer goes off, check to make sure there's a capital letter beginning of each sentence and punctuation at the end. Then check for misspelled words. If there's a word you think is not spelled correctly or you're not sure if it's spelled correctly or not, circle it, turn your paper over, and work on it in the back. Think, how can I improve it? Or maybe you made a mistake, you just want to correct it, right? If you do all that and there's still not enough time, or is it still, the time still didn't go up, write another sentence. And this is what I've been telling kids for years. So what you have when you set up this structure, and you say it every single time, is a bunch of kids, well, your child, grabbing their pencil, grabbing their notebook, setting it up, sitting down, eyes on their paper, they start writing. I'm starting the timer now. They start writing. What's not allowed? What do we have to write again? What did you say? is not allowed. It's not allowed at all. Okay? So for my students, teaching them how to read, so they always read the writing prompt. I don't read for them. They read the writing prompt, they copy the writing prompt, and then a timer is set for them to then write. So what we want to do, moms, is we want to make sure that we set up a system where our kids are functioning independently. You got to set it up. It's not just about the writing and them learning how to write, and writing is hard for them or they don't like writing and all that. That's the bubble you end up living in with them, and then their mindset as well, when you don't have the structure and the expectations and the standards set up that removes you and has them being one-to-one with face-to-face with their writing. It's between them and that paper and that pencil and their beautiful brains. That's it. You're not there to assist. You're not there to help them know what to write, think up what to write, or correct their spelling as they're writing. All of that is preventing your child from really expressing and the ideas flowing and imagining. If they're writing, let's say a writing prompt for them is imagine you went to the park, and while you were at the park, a squirrel ran up to you and said, "Hey, I need help. I lost my little brother. Can you help me?" What happens next? Boom. Write it down. It's on the board. My students have read it themselves. They write down the writing prompt themselves on their papers. I set the timer for 8 minutes. I'm out. So now they're excited. They want to write. Like, what happens next with that squirrel, that talking squirrel, and that's looking for his brother? What do I do? And they know that at the end they get to read it aloud, and it's going to be funny. You know what I'm saying? They need that space. But what we're doing, how we're making a mistake. Hello, welcome if you're just joining. How we're making a mistake, y'all, is we are sitting right next to them, helping them write, helping them figure out what to write, letting them tell us first, and then all this other stuff. No, let them think on their own, okay? So let me review it real quick. The system, the first parts, and then I'll tell you what's next. The first part is rule number 1. They're going to gather their notebook and pencils on their own. Notebook and pencil. Be prepared for success. That's one of the ways my students earn points in my program. They must have their own notebook and pencil. Their mom is not allowed, they're not allowed to expect mom to go and get their notebook and pencil ready for them to start doing their work in my class. You understand what I'm saying? No, that's not how we do that. You lose a point. You should gather your own materials and be ready for class. So we have to teach them to be prepared for success. That's number 1. Number 2, they have to sit properly. Tell them how you want them sitting down, how you want them seated. Back against the chair, feet on the floor, hand on your pencil, and eyes on your writing prompt, and writing. No talking. That's rule number 2. Rule number 3, I might have these out of order from what I was talking earlier. You make sure that you set a timer, okay? And you have 8 minutes to write 4 sentences or 5 sentences, whichever you think is appropriate for your child, and no talking. After you write your sentences, if the timer hasn't gone off yet, then go and check, make sure there's the capital letter at the beginning of each sentence and punctuation at the end of each sentence. Then circle any misspelled words, turn off the paper, spell them correctly, turn over the paper, spell them correctly or how you think it's spelled, and then we'll review later. So this right here, this setup has completely removed you from the situation, and it also allows them forces them to now think, to now express, to now be creative, to have confidence, knowing, and you tell them, don't worry about spelling. Spell the best way, however you think it's spelled. Don't worry about spelling. You tell them that, okay? I just want to hear your beautiful thoughts. I just can't wait to hear what happens with the squirrel. What you want to do with that talking squirrel? You understand what I'm saying? No talking. They cannot ask for help. They cannot say this is hard. They cannot say how much more minutes do I have. Set up this structure. I'm telling you, it works wonders. Now, a lot of you moms, you might have a really difficult time with setting it up and walking away. Okay? Hey, I'm a mom, I know. It's not easy. Listen, I taught my youngest daughter how to make a mug cake in a microwave. You know what I'm saying? So I did it with her, and then I was just, I did it, and she watched me, and then she's like, I want to try it. And I was sitting there, and I was like, you know what I mean? Flour flying everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Worried about she gonna put the correct measurements, looking and watching. So I told her how to use the measuring spoons and everything. And I'm like, and I had to calm myself down and be quiet and wait and see what she's gonna do. Let her think. Let them cook. Okay? Now some kids at first, they might not like it. They don't want to do it by themselves. But that's okay. It's not about what they see right now or what they think the experience is right now or what their experience has been in the past. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is where they're going and how this is going to develop. And they don't understand that, but we do. So you set up and you shut everything down. There's no talking. There's no getting out of your seat. You need to use the bathroom. Use the bathroom before we start, because when I set that timer, honey, there's no moving. Okay? Have them write. And then at the end, when the timer goes off, you may get this. I only wrote 2 sentences. I didn't write, the 6 sentences that was required. Where kids are like pushing back and they don't want to do it, or they don't trust themselves yet, or they're not used to doing it yet. You understand? Or they're worried about getting it wrong. They might just write 2 sentences at first. You state the requirement again. It's like, all right, read what you got so far. And then when they read it, you say, all right, keep going. I'll come back. Oh, that sounds good so far. All right, keep it up. Keep going. I'm going to set a timer. All right, it's your last chance to get your 4 sentences, last chance to get your 6 sentences. And then you go be about your business. Parents have a hard time doing this too. We have a hard time doing this. But we must master this. This is our growth. Our growth is to set an expectation, set a standard. We equip our kids, right? We just equip them for success. We equip them, we set the standard and everything, and then we got to go about our business. They're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. We have stuff that we're supposed to be doing. If you have to use the bathroom, but you're standing there doing the pee-pee dance because you want to watch everything your child's doing, you want to make sure that they do exactly the way they're supposed to, or they don't get distracted, or they don't get off task, or they don't stop writing. You feel like you got to keep telling them, keep writing. Guess what? They know that too. And they know all they got to do for them not to have to do this on their own is to play around. And you'll be right there. No. Walk away. Go use the bathroom. Go use the bathroom. Go find something else you want to do. Go check the food. Set the standard. Okay? And then after that, if you have time that day, you sit down with them and you edit with them. But it's not about it being perfect. And I'll show you how I help my kids edit. Actually, I have a parent coaching group that I'm starting. And I'm teaching all my strategies, how I teach kids how to read, how I teach kids how to write better, how I teach them how to spell, how to improve their confidence, and also math, how I help them push past their fear of failure. But also we'll be talking about what we need as parents, as moms, A lot of times you put your needs on the back burner and you're trying to help your kid improve, and it's a struggle, and now both of y'all struggling. You understand what I'm saying? Hello, Alicia. Welcome, honey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got it going on today because we go into the top, all right? We talk about our kids learning how to write, or they actually them writing every single day. Now, I got something for you, okay? I'm about to tell you a quick activity that's going to have your child writing for days. It's going to be set it and forget it. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be so easy. I used to do this with my kids, and my youngest daughter is in my tutoring coaching program, so she's always writing. You gotta make them write every day too, so that it becomes normal. If getting your child to do their work, sit down to complete an assignment, and your teacher's having the same problem, if it's such an issue, it's because they're not writing enough. Okay? This is my philosophy. So if a child does not like reading, they always try to get out of reading, they always try to give you a hard time with reading, they need to read every day. So that it becomes normalized, so that they can start to see their own growth. And the strategies that I teach that will help do that. So I'm going to give y'all a tip right now that's going to have your child writing for days. Set it and forget it. Okay, so you know those oatmeal containers with the top that you pull off, right? Don't throw them out, okay? You can use a regular Tupperware if you want to be fancy with it, but this is what I did. I use stuff in the house all the time to teach my kids, even ziti noodles for math, okay? So don't throw it out, put a little slit at the top. Do a little brainstorm where you ask your kids, what do you want to write about? Ask them. That's so good. When my students, if I don't have a specific writing prompt for them, I might ask them, all right, write down 3 writing ideas. What do you want to write? What you would like to write about, and then choose one for today, right? Let them think about what they will want to write about. So then you stand in front of a whiteboard. If you don't have a whiteboard in your house, get one, okay? If not, use a paper. But we're working on turning our homes into classroom environments, growth and achievement environments. I have like 5 in my house, so I'm a little extra. But get a whiteboard, you stand in front of it, and then, come on, what y'all want to write about? Tell me. Write it on the board. Just write the writing prompts down. Write them. Keep writing. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, I love that. I can't wait to hear what you write about that one. Oh, that sounds so funny. Okay, good. What else? What do you want to write about? Oh, that's good. Both of you like that idea? Okay, excellent. Write it down. Then, once you have like 30 ideas, keep going. Maybe if it starts to slow down, maybe you could throw an idea in there, and then they can like, oh, and then they say something else, right? It could be 30, 15, whatever you want to start with. Take a paper, and then you can either tear pieces of paper off, or fold it, cut it. You can have like little squares of paper that's long enough to write a writing prompt, and have your children write the writing prompts on those little squares. Okay? Pick up a little pile. Here, these are yours. You have numbers 1 through 10. You have numbers 11 through 20. Get them working, okay? Look, I'm the oldest of 7 kids, and we worked. We worked the chores. Some needed to be done. We all came together, did it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm from that generation. Get these kids working. This is not for you to think up writing prompts and write all the writing prompts down and make it all nice and pretty, hang it on the wall, and then sit them down and get their notebook and pencil, put them at the desk, and then tell them this is what we're going to do today. Okay, right. No, make them involved in the process from the beginning. They become invested, and it's easier on you. So they write them down. So then tell them to ball up each sheet of paper and throw it in an oatmeal box. Okay? Now that's your writing container, right? Then every day when it's time for them to write, you understand what I'm saying, Alicia? This is gonna be good. Every day when it's time for them to write, you have them somebody gets to take the oatmeal container, shake, 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 shake it up, shake it up. Okay? And then open the top, and the other child, if you have more than one child, gets to pull in there and pull out the writing prompt for the day. Open it up. Whatever the writing prompt is, that's what everybody going to start it. All right, everybody, run to your seats right now. Have assigned seats so it's easy. They're bumping to each other and say, I want to sit here. I want to sit. No, I want to sit here. You sat here yesterday. Have assigned seats for the writing activity, okay? Then run to your seats, okay? Everybody, I want your back against your chair, feet on the floor, pencil in your hand, okay? Now remember we said make sure they gather their own pencils and notebooks. So I have them set up the station before they get to pull out their the writing prompt for the day. All right? So they all sit down. So now you write the writing prompt on the board. They write the writing prompt on their paper. My students must write the writing prompt. They must write it. And I'm a virtual tutor coach. So I will change the screen at any minute. Okay? I might be working with another student one-on-one with their writing while everybody else is responding to the writing prompt. Write that writing prompt down. Because we're not going back to the screen, changing screens. I keep them on their toes. You have to be prepared for success. You have to write when I tell you to write. I want those eyes on your paper, pencil moving. You're responsible for that. And if you don't have it, you lost the point. You understand? There's standards here. Okay? So when they sit down, first thing you do is write it down, and then break the rules down. I broke the rules down earlier. I'll break it down again. Break the rules down. All right, champions, whatever you want to call your babies. You have 8 minutes. I need 4 sentences. You can say 5 if you like. I need 4 sentences and 8 minutes. If you finish before the timer goes off, look at the beginning of your sentence. Make sure there's a capital letter at the beginning of each sentence. Make sure there's punctuation at the end of each sentence. Then go and circle any misspelled words. If you find the misspelled words, then turn your page over and spell it again. See if you can spell it correctly or come close to the correct spelling. As long as you think. All right? If you do all that and you still have more time to terminate and go off, write another sentence. Because nobody's going to be sitting there waiting, looking around. This teaches our kids when they, hey, Monet, welcome. We talk about writing today. We setting them up, okay? We setting it up. Set it and forget it. This teaches our kids when they're in a classroom to get right to work, pay attention, write as soon as it's time to start writing. You understand? Work independently, follow directions so they can get right to it. Ready for when the teacher, I always say, when I used to teach special education in Newark, I always say follow directions, and then I always also say wait for directions, and then be ready for directions. Be ready, because I'm not repeating the directions over and over again. We gotta save our teachers, y'all. We have to save our teachers. They're struggling. We're not repeating directions over and over again. Be ready, okay? So they're writing. And what I have seen for years, and with my students, once they learn the structure, new students come. I have new students coming in right now. As soon as they follow the structure, you write the writing prompt down, and then when I set the timer, boom, they write. Or I'm like, you've already started, right? You cheated. You already started. I didn't even set the timer up yet. They get into it. Then when they finish, timer goes off, then everybody can read their writing. They can read now. When they read, listen with a big smile on your face. If something is funny, laugh, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? If something's interesting, be yourself. Just listen. Get out of mom mode where you have to coach them, you have to make sure they are doing, you have to correct them and stuff like that. And I know that might be difficult, especially if your child is behind, they're struggling, you want them to succeed so badly. But they will. They will. We're setting up a structure, and what you do in that moment is going to set your child up to be excited about writing, and then they not be able to wait until they can read it to you. okay? So just listen and be very excited and they clap, and they might be reading to the end and like, and I didn't get to finish the sentence. Or I had something else I wanted to write. Okay, go ahead, sit back down, you write. Next. I'm saying next because it was 7 of us in the house. So, we always had a lot of kids, right? If you have one child, you can have them sit down, and finish writing, but walk away. Don't sit next to them. Don't point. Don't be over there shoulder helping them. Do every little thing. Walk away, set a timer again for them to focus. This timer is going to help them focus. This activity is going to help them focus. It's going to help them sit. It's going to help them think. It's going to help them work independently. It's going to help them take initiative. You understand? Because after a while, what's going to happen is when it's time to write, they could be like, Mom, it's 10 o'clock or it's 5 o'clock. It's almost writing time. I'm going to get my notebook and my pencil. Oh, you ahead of me. Good job. They're going to be ready. You understand? They're going to set themselves up. They're going to sit in their own assigned seats. They're going to be excited about who's going to shake the box and who's going to pull out the writing prompt. They're going to be excited to get started right away. You've increased their confidence by putting this structure in and raising these expectations. They're going to be excited to read to you. And what I hear from my students, I added the extra 2 sentences. Can I read what I wrote now? I'm working with another student. They ready for me. You know what I mean? They ready. Can I read mine now? Can I read mine first? So if you have kids that are shy about reading aloud, have a fear of failure, where they might not get it right, this will transform them. They will want to read. They will want to show you what they did. And then you have your little coaching session in the end. Okay? Like I said, I have strategies for how I teach them. I've been using this for years, ever since I was teaching special education, when my students did not write. And the last students come to me and they're like, I don't like writing, and they might write 1 sentence. I did a consultation the day before yesterday, and the kid wrote 2 words only. We're gonna change that. You understand what I'm saying? So this is gonna help them. So when I was teaching special education, they didn't write on their own, and the aide would sit next to them and write for them. I shut that down. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. To them writing and being excited. I don't care if your child is behind academically, if they're reading below grade level, if they're struggling writer, if they always act out to get out of doing work, they have behavior problems, it doesn't matter. I work with kids over the years. It does not matter. They will go from fighting, avoiding work, to being excited about sharing. And I have 2 examples, and I'm gonna go and let y'all go because I got a big day today. I have 3 students in my program currently, where 3 of them they did not want to do their work. They would play around and try to distract the class, but I don't play that, and I teach the rest of my students how to stay focused, even if somebody else is trying to distract the class. We encourage our peers. This is how we do this. This is how we let them know that they could do better. You understand what I'm saying? So I have 3 students doing this, and now and that's 2 weeks ago. Now 2 of them are on point, doing great, excited, proud of themselves. I have 1 more. Oh, it's going to be a wrap soon. It's going to be a wrap soon. I have 1 more. So I'm telling this, letting y'all know, parents, that you have so much more influence than you think you do. And on your toughest days, like, you might feel like nothing is working or is hopeless, or your child just can't do this, or your child needs help. No, your child does not need help. They need structure. They need discipline. They need to set up right, but they need to believe in themselves, and they need you to feel good, take good care of yourself so that you stay consistent. And that oatmeal box idea, they'll be writing for 30 days. And then you just do it again, and you got this, okay? So I want to thank y'all so much for hanging with me today. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Monet. I'm so grateful that y'all came to talk to me. If you have any, please help me like and share. Any comments, comment below. Any questions, you can message me. Also, for everyone, also, I'm still accepting students in my tutoring coach. It's called the Unlimited Growth Tutoring Coaching Program. And I tutor and coach kids from 4 years old to high school, improving behavior, focus, and learning at the same time. Because I learned a long time ago, with my background as a mental health specialist and special education teacher, that you have to combine both. We can't just work on academics. We can't just work on behavior. You have to do both at the same time. And my strategies incorporate both. So that our children can become equipped for success at home and in the classroom and in life. We got this. If you're interested in my parent coaching program that's starting soon, also message me. All right? We are going to the top. We are going to the top. There's too many of our kids struggling in school, not being successful, teachers struggling with our kids. We parents can get together and save our teachers, okay? So they don't want to keep quitting and burning out, and there's a teacher shortage because the job is so stressful. No, we're going to get our kids together, all right? All right, love y'all so much. Thank you for your time. Believe in yourself. Believe in your child, honey. Always remember that growth is unlimited, and we got this. Peace.